Right on. Seven, that sounds like this.
The areas where the other eyes are.
All right, everybody, it's 5:30. This is the rec committee meeting. We are slated for 2 hours tonight. So we definitely want to manage, we want to give owner comment time. We definitely want to manage and get out of here on time. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 residents that would like to speak. Is everybody that's on here still want to speak? Yes? Okay. Could we keep each owner's comment to 2 minutes? And then Nikki will give you kind of a hand up, and then we can move on to the next person. Okay. All right. Marco Messier?
Here.
Messier?
Yes, sir.
You're up.
Present?
No, no, these are owner comments.
No, it's not me. I didn't put the.
Okay.
The mark.
All right. Antonio Baez? Hi.
Hi, my name is Antonio Baez. Hi, my name is Antonio Baez. I'm the manager director of Meliá Hotels in the United States and also in the Caribbean. I've been working for the company for almost 20 years, worldwide in so many different cities, in so many different countries. That means that practically I have the opportunity to live and I decided to move to Celebration 2 years ago to bring, to raise here my 3 kids. So the first thing that I was particularly impressed about Celebration was the sense of the feeling of community. I'm right now 44 years old, and I can promise that I've never played soccer in my whole life before. Following my passion, my kids' passion, and the encouraging invitation of Marco Messier, I decided to give me a try and I started playing soccer. There is no need to say that I was the worst player at the time.
That's not true.
But no, it is. But I very fast realized that it was more than soccer. It was through soccer how to learn a lot of values. This is the main reason I keep working as a sponsor of the Celebration Soccer team, Soccer Star, because we are 40 people more or less at the groups, and I strongly believe that we are not just 40 players. We are 40 people supporting each other. We are 40 people collaborating in mutual business as well. So here I am. I'm a proud resident of Celebration, and also I'm a proud sponsor of Celebration Soccer Star, because the main thing is both entities, they share the same cornerstone, the community, education and health. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to raise my voice and strongly support Celebration Soccer Star. Thank you very much.
Right on set. Halder Nunez?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Jalbert Nunes. Let me introduce everything. So I'm a vice president in a Canadian company that has global reach as well, including in the US. I'm also owner of a hair salon here in Celebration, Warner Coiffure in downtown with my wife. She runs the business, and I'm also a resident here. I own a house here for 4 years ago, here in Spring Park. And before that, I used to live in Dr. Phillips. And then when first time when I visited Celebration was a kind of dream. I said, wow, I want to raise my kids here. I really want to live here. It has a sense of belonging, a sense of community, pretty strong. And I decided to move and also to invest in the city by bringing a business. And we are a master franchisee for this brand that is a Brazilian brand, a hair salon with more than 50 hair salons in Brazil. And we decided to open the first unit in the US here in Celebration. It's been 4 years that we are here. But I'm here not to talk about my story, about my history, but I'm here to talk about what I see or what I've been seeing here in Celebration in terms of sports and in terms of soccer specifically. I'm Brazilian. When I was living in Brazil, I almost became a professional in soccer. And then I had a look to meet Messi here and see everything that he's been doing so far with the soccer team here. The soccer activities. It's not only about one group of people, two group of people, but it's about the community. He has the power to engage everybody in one sense, which is share joy, share moments that will be, we are celebrating together, we are playing together, we are together here. And I see that in different ways. So I was very concerned when I see, done. But yes, that's what I want to talk and just make sure that I'm very proud to be one of the sponsors of the CSS and support PTA as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And to sales guys, we'll start.
Any other owner comments? Does anybody?
Can I?
If you're on the sheet, you're welcome to.
Yeah, that was. Just a little bit. My name is Guido Tancredi. I am from Argentina. I'm a lawyer. I came here choosing a nice place to live because with my family, we have to put a big firm there. So we have the possibility to live in different part of the world, but we live here because we love celebration. And after 20 years without playing soccer, I came back to soccer thanks this group. So I am very grateful with the group of Celebration Soccer and with the committee that has chosen this group to give us the possibility to play as adults without no economic effort for us. Is so simple to play. And that's all. Marco didn't want me to come, but I decided to come to say just these simple words. So thank you.
Anyone else? All right. All right. It's called to order. If the committee members would like to go around the horn, starting with John, introduce yourself. We'll confirm we have quorum and get started.
John Trout, 206 Drake Street.
Tanya Barlett, 1445 Stickley Avenue.
Julia DeVault, 1107 Blaze Street.
Victoria Sperry, 1276 Aquila Loop.
Lindsay Taylor, 1111 Indigo Drive.
Clint Searcy, 1206 Celebration Ave. All right. Looks like we definitely have a quorum. We're not, well, we're missing is, Andy. Okay. Did we expect him or did you make? Couldn't make. Okay. Very good. First item of business is to adopt the agenda. Everybody take a glance at your packet. Do we have a motion to adopt? Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda's been adopted. If we could glance at the past, we have two meetings. We've got to look at the. So in your packet, we have August 18th and September 3rd. If everybody would glance at the meeting notes just to confirm that they're correct. Okay, do we have a motion to approve both of these meetings minutes?
Motion to approve the minute.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting minutes have been approved. Next item of business is our presentations from our partner programs. I think we're going to start with soccer. And Nikki can give you kind of parameters on what we're going to do time-wise and how we're going to go through that.
Great. So once you're called up, I'll get your PowerPoint presentation ready to go. We just ask that you speak into the mic. You have up to 10 minutes to present, and then the committee will ask you questions. As far as the first group, we'll have Celebration Soccer Club begin. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Hold on, thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is John Trout. This is Marco Messi.
My name is Marco Messi. I live in 603 Campus Street and 620 Campus Street.
So Marco and I'm going to go through this quick presentation. We're going to make this very, very simple and quick because I know the board received and the committee received in-depth analysis and everything like that. So Marco and I became partners in this venture of soccer in 2018, but we'll start with the history of what how this all developed from the beginning when Marco came into the scene. 2016, Marco started this Celebration Soccer Stars in a pickup game at the high school at the K8 fields here in Celebration with one adult soccer star team. And from there it grew. In 2018, while he was participating in youth soccer as one of the coaches, I met him as one of the youth coaches. I have two boys, they're in the 8th and 9th grade. We've been here for almost 12 years now. So they've grown up here in Celebration and playing in the soccer leagues. They don't play anymore. They've found a video game passion. So Marco and I continue to move on. In 2018, we became a partner program with the city here and with the town. In that, Marco started the co-ed leagues, and then the pickup games began to grow. And his vision to me was let's have soccer for all ages, all demographics, whether you played or not. And you've heard a couple of the gentlemen here that have never played before that are now still playing, and that's all the credit to Marco and the things you've done here. In 2020, we brought on the school. We started the Celebration Soccer School. We were given the opportunity to bring on the MLS brand Orlando City. We became the first Orlando City soccer school for the franchise. They're in about 5 now, and Marco created the standards for all of the schools as of being the first. The pandemic hit in 2020, as you know. We had a few hundred kids that came to the first outing, and then the country shut down the next week. We were able to, and Marco, we fought through, we needed and thought the kids should have some outdoor activities. In the summer of 2020, we were the only soccer program in what I could find in Central Florida that was actively doing training and having the kids go outside with very regimented things. Presently now, if you can see on the screen there, we run the 7-on-7 program. Marco has the 11-on-11, the Sunday league, the adult leagues, the pickup leagues. We also have the moms and daughters. All of these advanced through the last 4 years and have all grown by demand. Within the dads and kids programs, we have now the soccer school. And then we also have in the Memorial Day, we have the Soccer Palooza where we have about 1,200 that come out to the complex. And if you look on the side, we have everything. We have free resident programs for the moms and daughters, dads and kids. Anyone that wants to come out can come out and play. We have very nominal fees on Saturday for the pickup games. So we've built this as a community program, and we want everyone that wants to play and participate to come out. We're here tonight for the future. The youth program, CYS, has been a part of Celebration for 14 years. When this became an opportunity, we wanted to just give our hat at it and bring this on into the things that we're doing now. As you can see, we want to bring in the youth rec leagues, and we really have a unique dynamic to the way we've approached youth soccer. Parents who want to travel can travel and do a tournament team. If they just want to stay in town, we can bring leagues to them. We also want to have family fun nights, which we already have, but we want to extend that out to make those more opportunities beyond soccer and with other sports. And then the youth tournaments, and Marco will share a little bit about that. We had a first ever in celebration over the weekend, so there's some exciting news there. But the soccer program and I give Marco all the credit. He truly, I am the liaison that have helped with the contracts with Orlando City and the business model. I have a sports background of 17 years in live events and sports. So he has built this foundation of the community and brought all of this together. And we are a great team. I don't play any soccer. I was much like Antonio, and I was a tennis player, Darren. So, but I'm pretty busted up, so I can't really run a whole lot. And so I wanted to be involved and help Marco with this plan. But we're probably arguably the largest programs in celebration of any kind. We have over 200 families. We have 400 to 500 participants on a weekly basis, and we fill those fields with a lot of smiles, a lot of kids. 3 up to age 93 is the oldest participant that Marco's had out. This is just some of the faces that you see. Marco and a lot of the club came out and helped put the goals together from the onset. They take very much big pride in taking good care of the fields, helping the community out, helping Town Hall out in any way they can. You got Celebration Soccer School there in the top right. You see all these gentlemen and ladies there at the bottom, competitive travel teams. On the next slide, you'll see Orlando City Stadium. That is the Florida Cup. Marco gathered the Soccer Stars. The Soccer Stars were 2-time defending amateur champions of the Florida Cup. That is a very big deal when you bring in 16, 17 different teams and you've beaten the best of the best in the 35 plus all over the country. There in the bottom left, that's some of the bigger stars that you see. Kaká that played for Orlando City. Marcelo Saragusa with the Tampa Bay Rowdy. He also played in the MLS. He is also one of our partners that comes in and helps the kids when he's in town. And then you can see the hoisting of the cup. At the next slide, the Palooza. You have, this is the goalie. You can see this is our men's league. And then you can also see a lot of fans support that come out. And Marco does a wonderful job with making sure the kids get high quality medals and making them feel extremely special. Girl Power, one of the few programs in Central Florida that have multiple girls only programs, both women and for young girls. You can see them there. And then there you see the moms. Marco took a group of ladies that wanted to play soccer. They started out with a handful of ladies. And just a few months back, just as a scrimmage, they brought in the Lake Nona Women's League champions. And our moms, our soccer moms, actually won the match. So great job. And I want to introduce to you, this is Marco Mesia. As you can see, that is not a doctored picture. That's an actual rainbow that came in. He's participated in the community. All of the 4th of July parades, the hundreds that come out, all of the people come out and support. So I introduce you to this time, Marco Mesia, the gentleman that's really responsible for making this community a soccer power.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I'm very thankful and grateful to be in partner for 2 years. The Parks and Rec, Jacqueline, Lauren does a good job with us. It's amazing how they help and support. Everything's perfect over there. And this complex is brand new. We have, I believe, 28 months right now around that. And we are at the very beginning. Most of the pictures that we saw is in our complex, in Celebration Complex. We live in Celebration, and the credit's not only for me to build that, John, me, the whole community, because the whole community built that. This is a brand built for and from the community. We build that together. We have passion, love. I become emotional. But yes, it's something that's in our vein. We are soccer. We don't have partners or job or something like that. We live soccer. I have a couple sample here if you want to sample.
The good news from this weekend, the celebration first.
Yeah, with the very first time the celebration team, travel team won, brought to our house a championship. We won the Bazooka tournament, U14, with a 13 and 12 years old kids playing. It was really nice. It's nice. It's a good step for the kids. It's a good experience. The kids play inside the stadium. We have one stop every 3 months. We bring all the kids from the school inside the stadium of Orlando City. The parents, they have the experience to walk on the grass, play some soccer, have fun. It's all about smiles on the field. Better than any medal or any trophy. Trophy get dust. Smiles, and it's a good memory for the kids. Thank you very much.
Is it just presentation or questions?
There'll be questions.
One of the questions that we had was, can you talk about the days and times as far as using the field so that we could honor the commitment to you and honor what you would need to have a successful program, and then honor what we need to help all the programs. And we just weren't really sure what that looked like, how to set you up for success based on your needs.
Especially if the fields need parades.
Yeah.
It's, we've been able to work with all of the programs. The flag football, Marco and I both reach out to the lacrosse, the flag footballs. When we had the COIS here, we would move our schedules around. The Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are typically our year-round training programs. And then we move with the seasonal adult leagues, much like the youth. We would then kind of work around that schedule, and whenever they needed it, we would put the adults on the opposite side or at night. So it's been a pretty smooth process over the past few years already working in it. We look to just continue that by placing and keeping the youth soccer basically in that spring fall mode, and then just kind of just keep the wheel turning a little bit.
Just a friendly reminder about that. In the very beginning, we let them choose first, then we choose the other times. They want the Tuesday and the Thursday. We built our program Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and some Fridays as well. Then they change, we change again, and we are trying our best to help everybody. Nikki's helping a lot. She's amazing about the schedule and everything. So you're fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess one of the other questions we had is, with all of the different free programming and the limited funds, how are you able to cover the cost of the rentals and then still have a successful business for your coaches?
The soccer stars, which the Malia and the teams, the men's travel team has sponsors. The youth and the soccer school is self-sufficient. It's self-supported. There are no sponsors. There was close to $200,000 invested in the Orlando City Soccer School by the partners. So it is privately owned, but it is also self-funded. And then it also helps to self-fund other of the free programs. We have been able to take on that responsibility. The pandemic was a big hit because we weren't able to get out of the gate. So we're still pretty well behind. We lost about $65,000 to $70,000 in that first year. This last quarter, we were fortunate that we only lost $3,800. So we're not quite there, but that's not really what it's about. We are a self-funded program that has financial backers.
Awesome. I just saw the $5 and I was like, how are we going to cover the rent? No, thank you.
And yeah, jump in. Yes, when we was hit for the COVID, we closed the fields on March 13th.
Right.
We reopened the fields on June 15th. And we keep doing soccer for 3 months free for the other community. Just come on, do some exercise. We provide a physiologist, physical educator, just to be on the field waiting for someone to show up. and we grow. It was really, I'm emotional because I lose my mom. In that moment, but we never stopped doing what we was there to do. It was really nice. It was a nice moment. And we start doing and people start coming. It was a very good moment. And about the profit, we also have a non-profit organization. It's the Celebration Soccer Foundation that helps us to help the K8, the PTA. We just delivered yesterday 6 new jerseys, the green jersey that the kids are using. We sponsor that for the school, free, no cost for anybody. The Celebration High School, 120 new jerseys. We delivered from free. So we are community. Just, I don't know. The green jersey, look, we have our logo on the it's a blessing.
That's fair. Thank you. I appreciate the input.
If I might, I appreciate the community comments. It means a lot that you know, to go out and do that on your own dime and get kids out. That's kind of who we are and why we're here in Celebration. Let me ask you guys a question. So when I came back to this committee, there were 2 programs or are today, and we were tasked with getting to 1 or likely get to 1. If you were chosen to be that 1, how could you take advantage of that facility without having to compete for time? Or where do you see the growth opportunity? Are there programs that you wanted to do that you didn't have the space or the time to do? You know, what's on your mind?
We're going to plug that in. We're going to basically take we've never had a problem of space. It's always been time. So by having one organization, I think working with Nikki over the years, having the one will allow the schedule to be very much more concrete rather than have to change or somebody have to move and manipulate the schedule. As far as the programs, this man is a master at creating space and programs. So those programs are very expandable, or bring them back or combine them with other programs. You know, the 9 programs could very easily be 3 if you combine them. But with the flexibility and the times that are available currently, then we could kind of move that around. But it's worked out the last 3 years with the current rec league, because we're basically plugging a rec league and a travel team into what we're already doing. So we're really not changing a whole lot in terms of time and space. We're going to be competitively much more cheaper for especially the younger kids in the 3 to 6 range. You know, we don't see any reason that a kid should pay $189. He's 3 years old. He's out there playing soccer. So, you know, we want to subsidize as much as we can, but we don't want to be taken advantage of, is kind of our motto. So we're going to look to like plug that in and bring the kids in from Celebration and K8. You know, we've talked with the Crow board and prior to me being on the board and then currently of really focusing on Celebration kids and the kids and their friends who are in the K8 and in the high school, that's really the community. You know, we get to the 50-50 that way. We're about 85% to 90% Celebration community currently right now with our school and with our adult programs.
Thank you.
Anyone have any more questions?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So the next group that'll be going up is Corinthians Soccer Academy. Yes, please.
Are you expecting these immediately?
Oh, sorry. So sorry. So Tiago, you're.
Is it in the packet, Nikki? leaving, we just handed out some support sheets. So they're gonna go in usually, I'm writing a collect. He's right.
Okay. Thiago, whenever you're ready, go.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Thiago. I'm today I represent Corinthians Soccer Academy. I decided to stay here, to come in here to give an opportunity, give another possibility for everybody. I'm living here in Celebration, and I always try to find something a little bit different, more competitive level, more professional teams, or try to find something to former kids or their lives for like if I want to play soccer just for fun time, it's okay. So be a professional player. It's hard to go to university. It's hard to go to try to draft for MLS. So we bring this professional soccer team from Brazil, and I'd like to introduce a little bit the group. So we can start this. We're part of Corinthians Soccer, Sport Clube Corinthians Paulista. It's a professional team in Brazil, first division. And this arm of the club is for introduce soccer for kids, start to 4 years old to 17 years old. Thank you. And give the two possibilities that I told for you. The first one is, hey, this is soccer, this is a sport. Let's have a healthy life. Let's have another way before another life without the iPad, without the video games. So, and the second way for this is, hey, you want to be a professional player, want to be a soccer player, or would like to work with a soccer, be a coach, have a be an assistant, have a be somebody to work in the staff. So you can do this. So we go to Corinthians and talk with Corinthians in Brazil, and Corinthians have a lot of units in Brazil and Japan, and we start to in the United States. We already have here in Windermere, and we have it in Stony Brook. It's near to Avalon after downtown. When I receive an email here, because I live here, I look at this possibility to celebration. Cool. And I know everybody works here and play here, and everybody we already working together. So why not bring this brand and try to put together, try to work together, and when I was there and have all these possibilities, just not a soccer, it's a healthy life and identity of a professional club. So one more time, I already work with more than 500 people here, kids here, and they try to be a professional player, but when they go to university, nah, it's hard. So there we have like U19, U18, and 17, all these aides play in professional level too. I already have a contract with the club. So we offer these possibilities to make this exchange from Brazil, the next exchange for other countries. One more time, we have units in Japan. So we can keep this linked and make something different. One more time, Corinthians starts 20 years ago, the Chute Inicial. Chute Inicial is the name of the academies in Brazil. just for not keep the same name, just keep for, this is for kids, this is for professional. And after start this, we already helping people to get professional players. The first name is a good name, Junior Urso. He played here in the city. He's like a star here, and he starts there. And a couple more players, be professional players and have a different life. So, Chute Inicial is in Brazil. Here we bring the Corinthians Soccer Academy to adapt it in the United States methodology. So we mix both. We mix the Brazilian with the way they play soccer there, more free, more enjoying the game, and put together with the American methodology. It's more focusing the tactics, focusing the what I put my team in the field, and that mix this, and after this, born Corinthians Soccer Academy. This is a little bit about the professional team. So 2 times the World Championship. The Libertadores is like Champions League for South America. So one time, 30 times championship in the state versus big and other teams for the first division. So it's a little bit where we is. So this is the professional team, and you have a direct link for this group. Women's 2, girls 2. So the best team in the world 2016, 3 times Libertadores, more times the same for Champions League for Europe, and 1 Brazilian championship. So we work with boys, girls, men, women, and all these possibilities one more time to hey, we are here to help you. If you want to follow this this way, when you be a professional level, you can do this too. So one more time, Corinthians trying to make just a one method to work. We have a link direct to the professional team. So we have a meeting 1 time per month to talk with the professional group, professional staff, plus all the units. So hey, let's talk about soccer. What's the best to do this? Make this for this team, for this academy, or have this player. So we keep in touch with everybody. So all these possibilities to look what to improve for work. This is important for work, for the coach working Corinthians academies, Corinthians development, like a test. You need to make a writing test to show your ability, your moment. For instance, if it are possible to work with soccer, just know, oh, okay, I can do this. No, we choose another level. Choose it like a professional for all the tiers of the club. So for work there, you need to make some tests. Wait, we're able to work with us. So go to the board. This is normal, then three levels: the beginning, intermediate, advanced. The beginner is the next one, the 4 to 7 years old, for introduce sport, for make the kids to fall in love for soccer, and the fundamental soccer skills. The second one, the intermediate, is after 7 years old. So if you want to play soccer just for fun time, okay, not a problem. We'll try to improve you. And the third one is the competitive. So you represent your team. So now you use this symbol in your breast. So let's try to build in the best teams in all these aids to compete in all levels in our world. One more time. We have it in 3 countries units. And this month, the end of this month, 2 academies, 2 teams from Corinthians from São Paulo will play in Italy. Yeah, so we open our mind for this. Now the word is the word is global. We need to work in all these countries in the world. So we go for this level. I already told you I have 3 countries and more than 23,000 players in all the countries and more than 65 units. When we develop the Genesis training, is our program. Corinthians developed this. And all about soccer is inside. Example, your daughter playing the U15, so you know all the team, the codes, what time is the practice, when, your environment, your weather. In 2 weeks, in front of before the practice, you already have the exercise that the coach you apply you use for yourself, your daughter, okay, in this case. So this program is like the top for all the other the things that you make for the team. You can pay the monthly payment for this Genesis training too, and so use this for games, use this for press, for all the information inside this program. This is our schedule, normal schedule, 3 days a week, 2 days in a week, a special price for residents and celebration. The community, everybody told about this, is the main target for everybody to help the community. So celebration have a special things, special price, special opportunities. You will talk a little bit more after this. Students have discounts, the enrollment have the uniform too. When you enter the academy, you win the uniform at the same time. It's easy, fast. One more, please. Thank you. This is about celebration. Try to make something different. Bring high performance coaches. I put there from Brazil because I'm from Brazil. And let me talk a little bit of me. I'm graduating physical education in a public university in Brazil. You need to make a big test for entering the public, or this will go to the private university. I'm postgraduate in soccer and futsal, is the indoor soccer. So I keep studying, made them in post-graduation. Have the license A in CBF, Confederação Brasileira de Futebol. It's like the US soccer, but it's in the Brazilian. So I can work in all professional teams in the world. But I didn't stop there. When I arrived in the United States to live here in 2017, I already have the D license to US soccer. So I keep studying the American methodology to put all of this together and create more opportunities for Corinthians. All the free there is for community. It's normal. We offer all the things possible. Former players, actual professional players, coach, staff, or like a physiologist or something that work with this. We can give like lectures or festivals. Or the same for our friends told. We wanted to give some possibilities for the community. So come here, let's work this. Let's play together. Let's have a fun time. Bring your parents, bring your sister, bring your neighbor, and let's make our community keep all the time together. It's not just about soccer when having the festival. So it's all the possibilities like Christmas, Kids Day, Mother's Day. So create opportunities for everybody to stay together and have a good time together. And I think it is the last one. This is our brand in Brazil. One more time here is Corinthians Soccer Academy. This after soccer. The Corinthians field, Brazil, Brand Brazil. Communities exchange. Every month, the Kennedy Brazil. Create and compete on tournaments in the world. This is where the professional players practice. The professional players. Encourage the stadium. Let's go to the field. Because when they sit out there and play soccer professional, because they support this. One more time. This Parque São Jorge is where the team practices. Okay. Before you have all the trophies. This that I told you, this is evaluations for players enter in the teams. But after this age, like for example, do this group like a U10, playing U10 group, you can make the practice, and approve it, you enter the team and not pay nothing and play in professional. And we play here too and conquer some trophy too. So we already have here a lot of times. We work in indoor soccer, big soccer. Brazil is very famous. Be part of this group. There's the video. And for finish, I think I have like a couple of minutes. I decided to live here in Celebration when I visited here in 2014, and I received a proposal to work here, and I can't because my wife is pregnant and sent back to Brazil. 2015, my son's born. 2017, they said, no, we wanted this, we wanted to live here. But when we're here, don't have possibilities to stay in Celebration yet. So we move for Lania, so 2017, we rent a house here in Campus Street. Well, drink and throw. Okay, my son can play in the streets and go walk to the school. 2018, we moved for another house in Palm Road. And 2 weeks ago, finally, we buy our first house here in Celebration, a new part in the village. And I think it is the most important. Stay where you feel good, having this possibility to if I can work and live here, it's more than a dream come true. I can help everybody because for me it's enough. It's enough. So one more time, this is Corinthians Soccer Academy. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you for asking me here. Thank you.
So I have a question. In your RFP, and thank you for your presentation. It's, you're passionate about the sport. That's great. Do you have a plan to expand into adult sports? I've got a couple of friends that play in an adult league here and they love it.
So we already have in other units here a group for a woman, not professional team, but we play for adult women. We have a team. Our idea is in like 6 months or next season, we create a good team for play, like a UPSL or ESL2. We have some partners in Brazil coming to look at our project here. So one more time, we are linked to the professional team. So we have this support. So they want to have a team and compete here to develop new players too. So we are an academy to develop kids for life, but we are a soccer team to create players to professional level and or sell and buy players and create this atmosphere for adults too.
Heard a lot of focus on professionalism in soccer. Do you also do like just rec leagues and things of that sort? Because that's what we're looking for as well. Not only, you know, a competitive league, but also a rec league as well.
Let me just understand you because I don't see you so like.
No,
I'm not nervous. I'm sorry.
No,
it's hard to get in front of you.
This is a good question. I mean, this is incredible, right? You talk about going competing worldwide and things of that sort. Do you have also a program for recreational play here, like for celebration?
Yes. Let me remember the slides. We have one is like the beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
Okay.
The beginner and the first part of the intermediate group is for recreation too.
Okay.
It's not competitive. Not for this. We open this door for competition because it's hard to find here in USA. We looking for this. Hey, why not? But it's like a half-half. So in our other units, for example, we have a group like a 25 players for 4 and 5 years old. So we have like a 1 hour and a half for laugh and good moments. So we understand this part of recreation and I think the last one, I don't remember right now, sorry, is like to create 3 possibilities of celebration. And this is recreation now. Let's play here. Let's play you and your dad versus me and my son. Let's make something cool. No, let's create a team. Let's make jerseys specials for these days. Recreation is part of the project, like half-half. Half-half. No problem, appreciate it. Thank you.
We don't see any references to social media. Do you use any other platforms besides Genesis to communicate or post events or anything?
We have the Genies, can show you, used for players and parents, and we have the Instagram.
Okay.
We have Facebook and have the official site for the professional team too. All these have links, and you find all the units. But we have our Instagram, we have our Facebook, and our website.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay, thank you so much. Victoria, you smile, you me happy. I look for you and smile. Oh.
I'll smile to all you want. Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll give the committee a few minutes and then I-9 Sports will be up next. Okay, Eugene. You got the floor, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm probably going to stand around here. I'm used to doing presentations in front of sixth graders, so and I move around a lot, so just bear with me. Again, I'm Eugene Ramos. I'm the program director for I9 Sports here in Claremont, Davenport, Haines City, and Mineola. The area developer, Ali Hall, couldn't be here. She's here on Zoom, I believe. So if there's questions that I can't answer, she will answer them. That's it. So again, it says by Ali Hall. I'm Eugene. I just got hired as the program director. I personally have been in sports my whole life. I never envisioned a pathway to a career in sports, but it's something that has given me a lot. And I recently moved here from Colorado and got in line with Ali as previously working with her. And I'm just excited to, be her first program director and possibly be in business with you guys here. So a little bit about I9 Sports. We are a countrywide organization. We have about 3.5 million participants with programs running all across the U.S. Mostly they're running all year round in Texas, Florida, and California because it's warm all year round. We have the capacity and the ability and the resources of a larger organization because we are individually franchised out, but because we are, a smaller organization, we don't have some of the funds that these larger clubs like Orlando City, Colorado Rapids, all these larger American clubs that are coming in and funneling money into programs. So what can we offer Celebration? I personally have been a part of I9 Sports for 4 years. And I've been a part of 2 different organizations here in Florida and in Colorado. And I think the biggest thing that we can offer this community is joy. I've learned so much through sports, and that's exactly what we provide for children. Personally, it's unbelievable what we do on the weekends. I can't believe I get to call this my full-time job, because I have 1,200 families that come on Saturdays and Sundays, and it's their highlight of their week. So we can offer you guys programs on the weekends, they're youth sport programs, and I believe I'll have a proposal for soccer and tennis. We also offer flag football, lacrosse, I'm blanking. Flag football, soccer, lacrosse, newly tennis, and
basketball, volleyball,
baseball, football, volleyball. Thank you, Alex. I'm blanking on all the sports that we have because we have a lot. So this is kind of a staffing model of how we work. Me as the program director and Ali work hand in hand to make sure we have staff available for all of our venues. So currently we are running five different venues across Saturday and Sunday, 4 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. So we have this staffing model where we have a site manager. That's the person who runs the operations on the fields, lets parents know where they're headed, as well as completes transitions with our schedules. We have our sport coordinators, so specific sports, people who are well-versed in all the sports, but specifically soccer and tennis. And they are also acting as officials as well. So they are there to help coaches with practices, step in if a coach does not show up, which we don't very often have, and facilitate the game as well. Secondly, we have an operations coordinator. This is the person who is at the big red tent. You can't miss it. And they kind of direct our families where to go and also pop in and talk to families throughout the day. So what is the biggest thing about I-9 Sports that we can offer for the community? The first thing is organization and communication. I personally, like I said, I was a teacher in a former life. Communication is important, right? If I don't tell Johnny that his homework's due on Friday, mom and dad are going to come back at me and they're going to say, hey, you never told us your homework was due. So communication and organization are at the peak of our, at peak importance. Secondly is convenience. We practice and play on the same day, and families love that because families are busy, right? Multiple families have, some families have multiple children. We got swimming one day, baseball the other day, tennis one day. So the convenience factor is really one of our biggest things. We practice and play on the same day. So for soccer specifically, in our younger divisions, we have a 30-minute practice followed by a 30-minute game. In our older divisions, a 45-minute practice followed by a 45-minute game. So families love the convenience factor of our programs. Thirdly, we're a supportive environment. We love our children out there, out on the fields, and we have the staff to prove it as well. I have multiple of my site managers, one who's been with us since the inception, 7 years. So you don't really find that many days. Brand loyalty, right, is changing, and in the way that people are a part of organizations is changing. And so the fact that we have people that have been here for 7+ years speaks to what we do and how we do it. Fourthly, we provide goals around sportsmanship, right? It's not just about developing skills on the field. It's about developing skills as a human. And so one of the greatest lessons that sports has taught me is to be humble and to be passionate. And I think that we bring that into our organization, especially with the ideals that we align with. So each week is dedicated to a specific sportsmanship value that our coaches teach and speak about before and after the game, and then a child is awarded the medal for showing that sportsmanship value. And lastly, we focus on fun, kind of leading into that one previously. We're all about fun, right? I'll share a small anecdote. I had a parent come up to me a couple weeks ago and said, hey, my son scored his first goal. I said, how'd it go? She said, he scored it in the wrong goal, but everybody cheered anyway. And so that's exactly kind of what we are about. And I wouldn't be doing this for 4 years of how I kind of accidentally stumbled upon it and still standing here today in front of you all if I didn't believe in what we do. This is just a quick note on our parental pledge. Everyone has seen or knows that parent that can take it a little bit too far. We have our referees, our officials, our coordinators out there who are on the field that take care of that, but also on the front end and proactively. Our parents sign a parental pledge which say, hey, I'm here for my child, not here for my own personal gain, and I'm going to be on my best behavior. Of course, we have people that sometimes need to be reminded of this parental pledge, but that's easily taken care of. And listen, I'm not one to dishearten passion, but sometimes we just have to rein it in a little bit. I mean, a 3-year-old just scored a goal. That's great, but we don't have to be barking at him. So what would it look like here in celebration? We start at age 3 and go to age 12 with the potential to grow, especially with the space that we have here. I could potentially see us going up until 15, 16. I personally have experience with all ages. And so I think that with the space, we could totally do that here. Again, it would run in the fall, winter, spring, and summer, so all 4 seasons that we have running. And we obviously would be out on the fields back. I believe you all are aware of where they are. And so the great thing about your space is that we could run multiple programs at once. And I think that's a really awesome thing. This is a little bit about our pricing model. It's a little bit far for me to see. So our pricing is based on a tiered method in which if you register earlier, your price point is lower. With that being the early bird special, and that is at a 140. If you kind of pass that, you're at 150, and a late registration all the way to 190. We had about 200 late registrations this year because so many people want to be a part of our programs. And I think that this presents an opportunity where we don't have to cut off that overflow of people that really want to get into our programs. So right now we are running 594 children across 4 different venues. Myself personally, I'm at the Mineola Athletic Complex. I have staff at Windy Hill Middle School in Claremont, Feltram, and Haines City, and also Four Corners Upper School in Davenport and Champions Gate. And so the largest program we have is at Mineola. We have 3 soccer fields running at once. And it's awesome to see that many people are interested in the sport. Growing up, soccer wasn't a big thing in my area, and especially in the United States in general. I believe we're kind of getting towards where everybody else in the world is on about soccer. So why I9 Sports, why choose us? I did mention that we have these sportsmanship values. That is what I9 stands for. It is the core values of sportsmanship, all begin with an I. I don't believe I need to read them because I believe you all saw this before. And so I think this is what sets us apart from other organizations, is that we not only teach children how to kick a ball into a goal or hit a baseball, we really practice shaping children and for the future. And I've never been a part of an organization that has really put emphasis on teaching children, I would say, soft skills rather than hitting a ball and kicking into the goal. This is a little bit about Allie. She's, again, on Zoom. But Allie and Greg purchased this franchise in 2016, I believe. I should know this. And they've been operating, yes, 2017. And they've been operating for the past 7 years. And I came in contact with Allie in 2019 after just completing a year of service in California, accidentally, because there was a closer I9 franchise where I lived, and I somehow got linked with her. I then became a referee, then became a soccer coordinator, and eventually had to leave to Colorado, and then came back and was a site manager in Colorado, and now I'm here as the program director. So I've seen it all. I've been through literally every single position that we have besides owning the franchise. And I think that also speaks to a testament of what we do. So lastly, we have a dedicated staff that really cares about what we do. And I wouldn't be here without them. Things run so smoothly because I know they're on the field. And it's hard. They hardly look to me for leadership or anything because they just know what we are there to do. And that's to provide a great experience for our families. So thank you.
Great job, Eugene. I just wanted to take a quick minute since I have to be remote. Thank you all for accommodating this. I had a pre-planned trip to Boston this week. Just to recap everything Eugene said, I9 Sports is very grateful for this opportunity to present to you. We have been in operation for close to 7 years. And as you know, we have over 1,000 participants this fall season. And season over season, even with consideration given to COVID, we have seen upwards of 20% growth season over season. We have a well over 60% return rate of families, and we have quite a few Celebration residents who play with us out in Davenport or Haines City because they love our programs. They love that convenience factor of practices and games on the same day. Personally speaking, my husband and I have previously lived in Celebration. We love the town. We do have a lot of personal friends there, and some professional history as well. My family has owned and operated businesses in Celebration, so we're very familiar with the town, what it stands for, what Disney's initial goal was for the town, and the purpose of community there. A couple other things I did want to touch on in regards to the presentation is that communication factor that Eugene mentioned. We are a franchise, so we have a great system already in place for our registrants. We have a website that will help them find any sport at any location within a geographic region of where they live. All of our registrations are done electronically on the website, and we over communicate. I'm actually very proud of that. So via text, via email, we have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So we are hitting families with multiple methods of communication throughout the season and in the off season as well, to make sure those registrations continue to come in, but also that families are abreast with what's going on with the league, what new venues we're opening, what new sports we're offering. And Eugene was correct. Given the available athletic facilities to us, we can absolutely expand the ages of our soccer program. It is currently ages 3 to 12. However, with the appropriate fields, which Celebration has, we absolutely have the option to go up to about age 16. We would just need a larger field size than what we currently have at our other venues. So open to any questions, but very grateful that Eugene was able to present on our behalf.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So our current programming is offered. I hear when my kids were bobbleheads, I hear the benefit of Saturday, Sunday practice and game day. That's very convenient for the little ones. I get it. But how would you guys address in your model our advanced training, our teams that we want to go play other areas, and then the adult programming that like I said, I've got a couple of friends that love that. Are those things that you guys are planning to work into your program, or is that just you have your model?
As far as our model, I know it is a recreational model, and so we do cater to all levels of skill. So sometimes it's a mixed bag, right? There's beginners, there's intermediates, and I look at all of that as I'm building the teams. And as far as the programming, it is a recreational program, and so those children who are kind of better on the better side or aging out of our programs tend to go more towards the competitive, I guess, soccer club kind of organizations. I personally played recreation soccer as a kid, and then as I grew in my skills and my confidence, I stepped into travel soccer. So as far as programming, yes, we are recreational with, am I getting it right?
Yeah, there's no intention to add adult programming for us because we are a franchise. We are limited as to how high up we can go. We do have some flexibility within each sport, but really, for me, it's one of those stay in your lane kind of things. We are a recreational youth sports league. We are very good at what we do. But in terms of competitive and travel and elite programs, that's not in my lane. So we absolutely work with other programs. We've referred those stellar players to other programs when they get to that point. But typically when you're looking at youth sports leagues, the majority of children simply want to play to have fun and to learn. This is a family environment. Families want to come and cheer on their kids. And as Eugene mentioned, we do build our rosters based on the information at hand: gender, age, height, weight, playing experience. So we are putting some more seasoned players with new players each season. But when they reach that level, whether it be age 12 currently, or if we go a little bit higher, the ones that end up staying in our programs are the ones that simply want to play to have fun and to learn. When they get to that point that they want to be more competitive, we have the ability to reference them out to other programs.
Thank you.
question. Your program's open to the general public, and as a franchise, are you able to give any type of priority registration or discounts or anything to Celebration residents?
Absolutely. So that is something we can absolutely discuss with you all. We can set up special promo codes or links. So we can absolutely discuss what that looks like, and whether it be a priority registration where Celebration residents register first and then we open it up to everyone else, or a certain percentage, but we absolutely can accommodate that.
What about training for coaches? How are coaches selected and what does that look like year over year?
Excellent question. I personally do all the coach recruiting, and they are parent volunteers. And so how their training works is they are given modules based on our website to watch, and also they're provided with weekly practice plans that the home office has designed in order to suit skills for the age level that they're actually coaching. Now, we have a lot of first-time coaches, right? Parents are very, very hesitant to kind of dip their toe in the pond and get out there. But week 1, week 2, I see 5, 6 parents flocking on the field to kind of help and make it run smooth. So I jump in and say, hey, would you like to be a parent volunteer? So we recruit all our parents. They're all on a volunteer basis. And so if that doesn't happen, which is very rare, I have a staff member who steps in. I also have staff members who, do a little hand holding in the beginning if that is needed. That's what we're there for, right? Again, a lot of our coaches are first-time coaches, or we have coaches who are veterans that have been there with us for many years. And they love it, right? They get to put on a nice, fun red shirt that says coach in the back, and they're all background checked, and there every single week because their child loves it. And they end up loving it as well. And so I have a lot of parents who just sign up just their child so that they can actually coach out there. So as far as recruiting coaches, we never have a problem getting coaches.
And to back up a little bit of what Eugene said, all of our staff on site has experience in their respective sports. So our soccer coordinators have been hired based on the fact that they have playing and or coaching experience with soccer. Now, most of them, let me preface that with, are not professional soccer players, but these are people who have played played all throughout high school, played in the collegiate level. I even have some semi-professional soccer players. But at the end of the day, we are a recreational youth sports league. But all of my paid staff has soccer experience. So if you do have those newer coaches out on the field, our staff is there to support them, make sure they are teaching the fundamentals in the correct manner. And those training modules that Eugene referenced, they are in the I9 Sports Coach app. So the coaches can pull up the practice plan, and those practice plans are available via email as well. It goes through every minute of practice with them. So it will say the first 5 minutes, here are the stretches you do. The next, 10 minutes, here are the drills you're going to run. There are diagrams and graphics. There are videos. So all of the tools are right at their fingertips for the coaches. So no one should be out there just winging it. There is a dedicated plan for each week of the season, and each practice plan builds on itself week over week. So by week 7 of the season, the end of the season, there is a certain set of skills that those players should have developed, whether it be in the Pee Wee, junior, or senior division.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, guys. Again, it's an honor and a privilege to, present in front of you on behalf of the organization, which I hold very dear to my heart. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you all so much.
So once the committee finalizes their tally, this evening we'll kind of announce to the committee who has won, and then the representative who has been chosen will be notified tomorrow. And then the next discussion we're going to go into is tennis. So John could come back to the table, and then I know Victoria is going to recuse herself from this topic. And then we'll start with Atlantic tennis. All the committee members finalize their score. Okay, Darren, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having us up here and opportunity to look at the tennis again for the next 5 years. We started building the tennis program about 8 years ago. Many of you may be somewhat familiar with us already, but I'll just give a quick overview of the company and the quality of the staff that we have that I've been blessed to have on board right now. And then we'll have a look at the 5 cornerstone principles of celebration. If you can go to the first slide here. Yeah. All that stuff, that's what we're going to look at. So, thanks, Nikki. Can we jump to the next one?
Yep.
So quickly, my background. I come with 30 plus years of experience in this industry, from a blend of on-court teaching to managing tennis clubs and tennis management companies. One of the biggest companies in volume was MG Tennis out of Lake Cane. So my position there is Director of Operations, looking after the management of 4 tennis facilities that we had under one umbrella, up to 41 tennis courts, producing about a revenue about $1.2 million a year. My family and I moved to Celebration here as residents about 8 years ago with our kids, and kids attended the school and participated in the activities here, and very much became a part of the community. In that time, my wife and I have lived and breathed every ounce of our energy into building the community tennis program here in Celebration, including the Celebration High School. If you talk to anyone who's been around either one of us, they realize it's not just a job for us, but a way of life. I believe one of the key elements that separates us from many of the other tennis programs is we believe in the game and all the merits that tennis brings to both the kids and the adults. We are passionate about what we do, and we put in hours way beyond the norm for the sake of the kids' personalities as well as the tennis growth. Next slide, please. They say Rome was not built in a day, and neither was the program here. As I said, we've been here 8 years, and the staff that I have finally managed to bring together is probably one of the strongest teams of coaches I've had in the whole 30 years I've been doing this, and comparable to many very, very large, highly successful programs around. You've got a combination of 120 years of teaching experience between all these people on the court, and 160 years of playing competitive tennis experience. They don't just talk, but they will get on the court and still compete in tournaments and leagues themselves. My good friend Eno Marika on the bottom left, as you can tell, from Nigeria. He moved here 40 years ago to the USA. He trained with some of the best players, Michael Chang, Jim Courier, David Wheaton at the Bollettieri's Tennis Academy. He has coached college tennis, touring professionals, and top juniors. For the past 23 summers, he goes north and directs a high-performance program at the exclusive club in Connecticut, where students are paying $15,000 each for a summer. James Cover, in the bottom right-hand side there, joined me a couple of years ago, ranked as a junior player in the UK, transferred to US, played college tennis here, and has been director of both tennis facilities, municipalities, and country clubs, both here in the States and in the UK. Giancarlo, dead in the middle with holding the trophy, probably sporting a whole aftershave most of the time too. Giancarlo is a former Davis Cup player from his home country, speaks 3 languages, and still wins trophies competing in tournaments. Jamie Cover just joined us about 18 months ago on the top right, James' son. Also ranked junior player in the UK, grew up competing, helping his parents, also teaching the kids out of the tennis facilities that they were running. In the true form of a young man, he carries more energy than the ever runny bunny and is a huge favorite with the kids. Rachel Hall, my wife, in the top left there, and sitting over here next to me, has been playing the sport competitively for the last 12 years, building and captaining her very successful ladies team. 5 years ago, she took on the girls' high school team at Celebration, enabling us to train the boys and the girls together, creating an awesome environment of support and unity between the kids. Rachel is one of the most passionate coaches I've ever seen in high school tennis and tennis in general, putting herself through the physical exercises with the kids, yelling encouragement from the sidelines in their matches, and living their wins and losses with them. She has been bringing that energy more and more into the community tennis program now, traveling to tournaments to support our young players that are working their way through the competitive tournament world. Rachel has also been a huge asset in the office as the business has grown, developing and maintaining the website and working with our online tennis management system. Having these various personalities, teaching styles, cultural backgrounds, both male and female coaches, benefits the students greatly to find a personality that matches and works for them. I'm just going to click and pull them all up on that page next to me. So you've got the 5 cornerstones that Celebration is looking to build their programs on. First being community. Advantage Tennis is family owned and operated by us, Celebration residents. Our kids have gone to school here. We are the high school coaches for the town, for the city. We have supported many of the town's charitable organizations to the tune of hundreds of dollars and raised several thousands of dollars for improvements in the high school tennis courts. As an example, over the past 5 years, we have had 3 of our students lose a parent, and we've been able to assist those families financially as they've gone through the struggle of being a new single-parent family. This is not only the benefit, because it benefits from the exercise, but also support, group, fun, and some sort of normalcy for those people. This is what a community does. It works together to support each other, and we are proud to be a part of that. 80% of our students are residents. A sense of place. Lakeside Park is the sense of place of Celebration. From the concerts on the lawn, to the food truck Fridays, to the kids' tennis programs on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings. You look around and the parents gather and socialize as they watch their kids enjoying a sport of a lifetime in this safe environment that Celebration has created. I've experienced many places where kids are just dropped off and left, and the parents had no interest in their kids' progress, almost as if it was more designed like a babysitting service. Here, the kids are given strong tennis instruction, move their way through the different levels, and is all enjoyed by the hordes of parents that sit around and socialize with their Starbucks in hand. On multiple occasions, moms and dads have also got together and now started their own tennis groups, and that way it's always become both family, big family thing in the community. Moving to the next slide, please, Nikki. Actually, sorry, back when I missed it. Thank you. Sorry, the technology point of view. We utilize various media platforms to market and show the success of the kids on our programs. On our website, we have details of the programs over the past 4 years, adding an online tennis management system, booking lessons, managing the programs and events that are held. We also have video recording apps that will allow us to record the student's technique and then break it down to them, give them student feedback. On the education point of view, I've often referred to the learning of tennis being so much more the learning of life. The game at a professional level has evolved greatly over the last 40 years that I've been watching it and competing in it. And as the game evolves, we as instructors have needed to evolve and adapt. There is no one size fits all with tennis. We adapt ourselves to our students and their wants and needs. Some kids are looking to become professional or college players. Some moms are just looking for a stress outlet. And many of the guys have been looking to lose weight and just get in shape. Within our company of teaching pros, we work as a team, and in so many cases, positive results have come from the input of multiple pros, each working with the same student. From a health point of view, a study done by Copenhagen Heart Study and published at the Mayo Clinic showed that playing tennis increased a person's life on average by nearly 10 years. So if everybody wants to sign up, just let me know. As I've already mentioned, multiple guys started tennis to get in shape and reduce stress. Tennis pros from their own playing and competing experience have knowledge of diet, exercise, correct equipment, make sure it's safe and looks after the body, whether it be the shoes we recommend or the rackets and the string and tennis. We create a very positive, upbeat learning environment for the kids so they grow up believing in themselves, giving themselves a sense of self-worth. We have 2 members of staff with personal training certifications, and again, we all keep on ongoing education requirements that our industry standards request. Sorry, next slide, please. Thank you. Future plan. This was a little bit of a tough one, as Nikki has experienced. We are already kind of bulging at the seams. So in some of the aspects, there are small areas that we can grow and stuff like that, but now it's been more a matter of juggling the court space. We've got 3 courts allocated on Tuesday and Thursday downtown, and 2 in the mornings and weekends if we need it. But aside of the mornings, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoon, Saturday and Sunday, we use the high school tennis courts wherever possible. Going through summer when school is closed, high school is closed, then we use the high school tennis courts again. So it has been a constant juggle, working with Town Hall, try to keep the residents happy that they've got enough tennis courts to work on, and hopefully we can continue to talk with Town Hall, maybe grow with facilities at some point in the future. I know there's talk about here the pickleball courts, and we don't know. We're traditionally right now pickleball, paddle is another one, paddle. And tennis have all kind of gone hand in hand. So that might also be another way that we can sort of expand, help that part of the community grow as well. In summary, why Advantage Tennis? First, the level of experience of staff that we have in our team, I think rivals and in many cases exceeds many of the big clubs around. We have 8 years of proven track record of growth here, familiarity with the town, and most important, closeness and understanding of the Celebration families and the culture. Advantage Tennis meets and exceeds the town's expectations with regards to a sense of community, sense of place, technology, focus on education and health. Simply put, we are a tennis family with a passion for the sport and the community that we serve. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know.
So, Darren, can I ask a question? Really? So you spoke a lot to students, right? Would you clarify the categories of programs that you're currently offering today? So that might be.
Yeah, so everything from our youngest students are 3, and our oldest guys are retired mid-60s, early 70s. The kids programs are broken down into levels. So of course, with Tuesday, Thursday, for example, 5 to 5:30, we've got 3 to 5, 6-year-olds. Then from 5:30 to 6:30, we've got 7 and 8-year-olds, and from 6:30 to 7:30, we've got 9 to 11-year-olds. Then we take our teenagers over on Monday and Wednesday, but they're going from 12 to 18, and that's kind of our social. We kind of almost like the hit and giggle kind of thing. And every once in a while, out of that, 1 or 2 will go, "Hey, I want to play on the high school tennis team." Okay, great. Okay, now we kind of redirect them a little bit stronger into other more stronger, more frequent programs. Because most of those programs I've just mentioned are about 1 hour long. As soon as people really express they want to go somewhere with it, then it's an hour and a half. And then our academy program where we're literally training kids going to college. So that's 2 hours long, 2-3 times a week. The adult programs, we've got the beginner ladies, we've got beginner ladies programs started all over the place. We've got a men's group on Tuesday night, we've got a men's group on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. And, you know, I've been in this business 30 years and I'm not quite sure why everything sort of fluctuates. But I mean, the business as a whole continues to grow, but private lessons over the last, 2 years have drastically increased, to comparable to the programs and stuff like that. So it's just a little bit of something for everybody.
Clarify, it sounds like you offer the recreational and the competitive level for kids and adults.
Absolutely.
So it kind of encompasses everything.
We've just set up recently a new league for we call them beginner ladies, but really now they've been doing it for 18 months or so. So in the rating system of tennis, there's like a 2-5-3-0 level. And they were all coming back. They were out there 3-4 times a week, like, okay, what's next? So we set up a little ladder tournament, just in town. And we've got 8 guys or so, 10 guys. That's actually 2 groups of guys. There's an advanced group and a more beginning group. See, I'm referring to my wife because she's organizing more of this side of it. And then we're just starting up a 2-5-3-0 ladies competitive thing, just because there are a lot of tournaments scheduled by the USTA around Florida, but you tend to have to travel quite a bit. And for whatever reason, even if you're willing to travel, the number of participants playing in tournaments is not huge. So generally speaking, what ladies tend to do is they'll start here, do a little bit of this kind of stuff, and then we start getting them into teams, as my wife's done for the last 12 years. So then they can go higher and higher, and teams around Orlando are just possible. So,
For your groups, what is kind of the size that you have on the court? Like how many?
Good question. Yeah, it just ranges a little bit. It won't be really more than 6-to-1 ratio. It tends to depend on their age level. So the little munchkins, for example. So they're maybe 3-to-1 ratio with those guys, with the pros. And as we get older, we've got our academy kids who, they're literally able to, hit with themselves and all that kind of stuff. So we have 2 or 3 of us who are roving over 3 or 4 courts or whatever. So yeah, generally speaking, throughout those little kids sort of stuff, 3-4-to-1 on the little munchkins, 4 or 5-to-1 as it gets next one, and then maybe 6 maximum on that next level. So we just try to sort of organize the courts with, space and tennis pros and stuff like that.
Are there any of your programs that are like closed to new participants at this time?
Anything closed? There's a couple that are basically full. Yeah, I mean, we've, again, this is sort of weird fluctuation, and especially being recreation tennis, especially for that age group. Of course, they come into tennis season and then suddenly soccer season starts, so they'll jump over to soccer for a little while and then they come back to tennis later. At any given time, I would say we've probably got about 200, 250 families involved in different times of the year and stuff like that. I mean, we've got some families that literally just pick up summer alone. They're heavily involved in school or whatever, and they come out and they do almost every week of summer camp, and then they're gone again. So there's a little bit of everything.
One more question. Do you offer any scholarships to any of your participants?
Yes, as I say, I've got 2 or 3 kids who, financially they're not in as good a place. We even got one parent came up to me because he was an assistant or a volunteer coach for Osceola High School. And there's a girl there who, we met. She's a very good tennis player, but she's living all the way on that side of town. She was not able to get over here. And he said, look, I'll pay for her. If she can get here and find a way, I'll pay for her. Just let me know how much. As I said, we've helped out and still ongoing help, a couple of those single parent families and others that, we have just kind of had to sort of swallow because, they're passionate about the sport. They wouldn't do anything else, and they put the heart and soul into it. So you feel for them, So yes, absolutely. There's a lot of that.
Okay, thank you.
There was a hot topic when we started this new version of the committee was the tennis court space. How have you been able to adjust with your Tuesday, Thursdays, you're on 3 courts, the rest you're on 2? Has that been
Exactly.
doable?
Yeah. Again, it's just, for example, last week, the courts were underwater for, a week from the storm or whatever. We were lucky enough to have the high school courts managed to survive okay. So it was quite interesting that a number of those morning people were able to switch to the afternoon. Right now, we just kind of, shuffle things down a little bit. Although we have a large staff there, it is literally, if you walk out to the high school courts on a Monday or Wednesday afternoon, we've got 4 courts full on from probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So, it's a lot of staff. James, for example, is, technically was retired from the business and didn't really want to get involved, but then he'd say, well, I'll help you out a little bit. Then the next thing I know, I'm pulling him in a little bit more, and then his son came on board. So really we have sort of 3 full-time people. James is almost full-time. I'm still teaching a little bit here and there, but mainly managing. But it's as far as downtown goes, it was just, we were in 2 courts at any time with just 3 courts on Tuesday and Thursday afternoon when we had that large number of all the little kids and all that kind of stuff. So.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And then we're gonna go back to I-9 sports with you. Okay, everybody ready for this presentation?
All right. Hello, everyone, again. Like I said before, I'm Eugene. I'm the program director. And I'm happy to be speaking to you about our tennis program, which is our pilot program that we have just started. And so as much as soccer, our soccer program is my baby, I really have grown to love watching our tennis program kind of flourish because of our staff and how much our children love it. You can go to the next one. We're going to skip through a lot of this because I've already chatted about a lot of this. But first, what can we offer you guys? We have this customer-facing website that we kind of touched on before in the previous presentation, as well as social media and our mobile coaching app and our I-9 Sports app that allows for multiple points of contact with our families. That kind of sets us apart from other organizations communication-wise. Again, I'll hit on this because I think it's the most important thing that we bring. We are organized and we have great communication. We are convenient, so we practice and play on the same day. So at Mineola Athletic Complex, where I site manage and oversee, we have soccer, baseball, flag football, and tennis all running at the same time. So we are not new to a lot of things going on and multiple things going on at once. Sorry, you could go back. Thirdly, safe and supportive environment. Our tennis parents signed up because it was something new that we offered, especially for a lot of those kids that have aged out of our programs. Because our tennis program goes all the way up to 16, a lot of those families that have come back and aged out of our soccer or football or basketball program said, hey, you finally have something new that we can try, and they signed up immediately. And although our tennis parents sit outside of the court, they are as much as involved as our tennis coordinators out there. We are extremely driven on our sportsmanship values. I do want to go over those 9 I's that I didn't previously go over because now I actually wrote them down. You won't have to squint at the screen. And lastly, we're about fun and developing children in their skills and for the future. Parental pledge, again, we make sure that our parents know that they're there for their child and not for their own vanity, I guess. And this is a great slide kind of explaining what our program is. We start at age 5 and go to age 14. I believe I said 16 previously, so that's my fault. But we are going to be running all 4 seasons, fall, winter, and spring, except summer. And we currently have 2 tennis courts that we run on. And the ratio is about 10-1 because we have 50 participants and only 2 tennis pros and only 2 courts available. And so I think our tennis model is really awesome because firstly, we have the potential for growth. 50 children is a very small number compared to 590 kids that I'm running in soccer. Secondly, our tennis pros are excellent. They're wonderful. We have a tennis pro who is a collegiate tennis player and a tennis pro who is actually my cousin's girlfriend who is run clubs with multiple years of experience and played for her whole life. And they're awesome. And I love watching them work because they have a great give and go with each other and a relationship with our children. Thirdly, our dynamic of how we actually set up our program is awesome because it's very much group lessons as opposed to match play, which I think potentially we could possibly get into as we grow. But the group lessons are really awesome because those tennis pros have individualized instruction with that group, and the practice plans are actually made and created by USTA for both red ball, orange ball, and green ball. So they're guidelines that were given to us and made in partnership with USTA. And lastly, it's our pilot program, right? So there's a lot of opportunity for growth. And I think as far as signups go, we have 50 now, and we had to deny 10 to 20 because we just didn't have the space available and the means to go ahead and do that. So I think that our tennis model has a very, very large opportunity to grow. Here's the pricing model, same as all our programs across the board. And I know we had a question previously about a celebration promotion code or access to celebration residents only. And I know that's something that we can discuss and further look at. This is just a picture of our program in Tampa. Tampa, the home office is running it and us as well before we roll out to the whole network. So we were chosen by the home office to actually run the program. And I think that speaks to who we are and how excellent we are as a staff and a franchise. So here are the 9 I's. I do want to read them. Imaginative, innovative, interactive, integrity-driven, impassioned, inspiration, instructional, insightful, and inclusive. And I really think that encapsulates kind of all we're about. We are an organization that just we practice what we preach, and we really hone in on building skills for the future. And that is a repeat slide of before, and I couldn't do it without my wonderful staff. Like I said, this is my first time in this role, and I've literally had so much fun coming and showing up to work every single day because I know I have a wonderful staff that backs me, and I know that our families are excellent.
And I just wanted to add a few things. Eugene absolutely touched on, exactly how our tennis program is going. There's only about 10 to 15 franchises across the country that were asked to participate in the tennis pilot program. And essentially the way the pilot program works is we're going to run it for 2 to 4 seasons in these 10 to 15 franchises and essentially see how it goes. We don't have a lot of flexibility within that first 2 to 4 seasons. We're operating it exactly as our corporate office in Tampa has asked us to do so, with the intent that at the end of that 2 to 4 season period, we'll supply the feedback from us as a franchisee and the feedback from the parents and participants to make modifications as necessary. It's exactly how we've operated our volleyball program, which is incredible. We have several hundred players playing volleyball. So if things are working, great, we'll continue doing them. If there are things that need to be modified in the program to make it more successful or more conducive, to better learning tennis, we can make those modifications. So I wanted to touch on that. In regards to the ages, as Eugene mentioned, we do currently end at age 14. However, we are open to presenting that to our corporate office. If there is a demand for tennis in the 15 and 16-year-old age group, and we have the ability to do so with the approval of our corporate office, we're absolutely open to doing that. But our tennis program is recreational. Much like our other sports, we are focused on learning the fundamentals of the sport, it being fun, focusing on sportsmanship, and tennis really is an untapped market. It's not as popular as soccer or flag football, basketball. So I feel like there's a lot of opportunity here. And same as with other programs of ours, we will focus on the recreational portion of it, but we realize that, there are outliers and there are going to be players who are more competitive and advanced and need to move on to other programs. So when they get to that point, we are absolutely willing to partner and refer out those players who need to move on to a more advanced program. One other thing we didn't touch on for soccer and tennis that I briefly want to mention is that we do survey our participants every single season. We send out a survey, a Listen 360 survey that basically polls our families and asks them how we're doing, asks them for verbatim feedback. I have tasked Eugene with taking this over. This is a big part of his responsibility, but it allows us the opportunity to gain feedback from our participants about how we're doing and how we're doing changes to make it a great experience for them. So we take a lot of stock in that. We have a great approval rating from our parents, and for the areas that we need to improve upon, we definitely do so and end in the season on a great note.
Does the committee have any questions?
Could I ask a similar question to scope? So I understand I work for a big company, so you have a program model that you're using.
Correct.
Of the categories that we have today, which ones are you bidding on? You just want to do the youth tennis on weekends?
Correct. It is weekends only. Yes, soccer and tennis.
Okay. No private lessons during the week?
We do not offer any private lessons. We just strictly our
travel teams or anything?
No travel teams. The way our program is designed, it does end up being more of a group instruction and not more match play because a lot of our children are picking up a racket for the first time. And
sure.
So they get that direct instruction from our tennis pros.
And Allie, why the wardrobe change?
I will tell that later, and it's very cold here right now. My hotel room is freezing.
It's a good looking sweater.
Very cold. I even have a scarf.
She went prepared to Boston.
So I do have a question.
Yes.
Right now, we're limiting Darren to 2 courts,
Mm-hmm.
for the exception of Tuesday and Thursday evenings, right? 3. So if you were limited to 2 courts on Saturday and Sunday, how many students would you even be able to really, like, what would your max capacity be? Will you be able to run a program during that day?
Definitely. We actually checked out the space and we use 2 tennis courts currently and we have 50 kids. So, and we end our programs, we start at 8 and we end at 11. So depending on the contract that we receive from you guys, and we adjust it to the amount of participants that we have, and we have the appropriate staff for that. So I don't have a number to give you, but like we shared, there's a potential for growth. So I would love to see 200 tennis participants, right? That's just me personally, because I love chasing really top tier goals. But yeah, I mean, we have the potential for growth, and if we need to stay out there a little bit later, then we need to stay out there a little bit later. And I don't have a problem with that because the children are getting what they want and what they need.
And to expand on that a little bit, everything's on a flow. So for tennis, for example, we currently have 3 divisions, Pee Wee, Junior, Senior. So currently we have 2 groups of 10 in the Pee Wee division, 2 groups of 10 in the junior division and 2 groups of 10 in the senior division, something like that. They come in waves. So, it really just depends on the availability of the court. If we have open availability on a Saturday, we can really leave registration open to, an unlimited number of participants up till the final deadline, and then build the schedule from there. That's how we operate all of our sports. We typically don't put a cap in any of our registrations, unless we have some kind of time constraint at the venue where you say, you have to be out of there by 1 o'clock, in which case we'll work backwards and determine how many kids we can accommodate within that time frame. But we do leave it open until the final registration deadline, and then we build our schedules from there.
Thank you.
What's the typical duration of class?
So I believe that they're there for an hour, correct?
It depends on the age division.
So for our younger ones, they're there for 30 minutes and then a 30-minute kind of just an hour-long kind of lesson. For the older ones, I believe it's an hour and 15 minutes.
Yep, or an hour and a half.
Yes.
So the time increments increase as the age divisions increase. So for the Pee-wees, it's a 30-minute practice and then 30-minute quote unquote match play. Again, this is very much instructional. We are not really using volunteer coaches in our tennis program at this point. Tennis is a totally different beast from soccer. We rely heavily on our tennis coordinators to run the program, to lead the instruction. We do have a couple helper parents on the court, but they are really just taking direction directly from the coordinators, making sure kids aren't hitting each other with the rackets and that they're spaced appropriately. But it is very much group instruction led by the coordinators. And then when you get to the junior division, it's a 30-minute practice, 45-minute match play, and then the later group is a 45.
And it's run with stations, right? So obviously we're going to get them water, we're going to let them rest, but each tennis instructor has what they're going to do and they rotate. It's really awesome to watch. I mean, I sometimes forget that I have to switch my small field to a larger field because I'm watching the tennis guys go. So.
I don't have any other questions then. Anybody
No,
else?
thank you.
Excellent. Thank you guys again.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you all so much.
For everybody else.
So that was it for tennis. Again, as a reminder, you'll be notified tomorrow about the decision. Next up is celebration cycles. And then we'll have Victoria come back and then Julia switch to the audience.
Okay, everyone. Have a good rest of your night.
No.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Walton. This is the third time I'm doing one of these presentations for the Recreation Committee. So I feel like my presentation has grown and changed a little bit every time I've presented, as our program has grown every time I've presented. So just I'm just going to give you like a brief history of where we came from and where we're hoping to go. Celebration Cyclones formally started in 2018. I have been coaching for Celebration High School since 2005. So my first year as a teacher, 22, fresh out of UCF. My sister was a senior at Celebration High at the time. And I had the head coach approach me and say, I heard you used to swim. Do you want to coach? I need an answer by the end of the day. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. So I dove in, no pun intended. And I haven't looked back ever since. So this is year 18 that I've been coaching at Lakeside Pool. I have built Celebration Cyclones to support our community and to, as you can see, we are purple, black, and white. I've built the foundation of this program to reflect and support our high school athletics. If you don't know this, the Celebration High School mascot is the Storm. So we are CCST, our Celebration Cyclone swim team. So in 2018, I saw the need for, we were starting to just become a much more competitive local team. I really wanted to beat Harmony, just being honest. And did you? We did. And we had some really talented kids coming up through the ranks. And I saw the need to develop a summer program for them to prepare them for the high school season, which is where we are right now. I'm in the height of high school season. We have our conference meet on Thursday, districts next Friday, regionals the following Friday, and states the Friday after that. So I apologize if I'm a little stressed, but we're very excited. So we started the program just as a small AAU swim team. I was very overwhelmed at the process. I had started the process of establishing a USA club team. There's a lot involved in establishing a USA club team, as I have grown to understand. So we just started as an AAU recreational swim team with a competitive side, if you will, to try to get those high school kids prepared and try to get those middle school kids and elementary school kids interested in swimming to kind of have that pipeline to the high school program. It's been successful. We are defending our OVC trophy, which is our conference trophy. So we've won the past 3 years in a row for the boys team. The girls team was the runner-up last year. They've come a very long way, and we are just super proud of all of our kids on top, in and out of the pool. On top of that, I don't know the exact statistic, I apologize, but I believe the largest number of students who have been either a salutatorian or valedictorian for Celebration High School senior class, have a large percentage of them have represented the swim team. So it's always very emotional at graduation when they talk about, their involvement. After 2018, we had my son, and then COVID happened. Fast forward, 2020, I got the email, hey, we're looking to start up programs again. Are you interested in putting in a proposal? It was on a Zoom call, so that was the second time I presented. Did the Zoom call. One of the other programs that was applying or putting forth a proposal actually ended up partnering with me. So now, and that's when Celebration Cyclone Swim Team was born as we know it. So we are at this point in time, we are a fully accredited USA swim team. So we had to go through a process with Colorado Springs, with USA Swimming Nationals, and get an approved charter. So we are fully, everything that is embodied in in Paralympic and Olympic swimming is how our coaches are trained, the models that we use. We run our program through Team Unify, which is how USA Swimming runs almost all of their programs. And we've just come such a long way. And I'm really proud of the progress that we've made. And I feel like all 5 of the cornerstones that Celebration represents are represented through our team.
Throwing it to me?
Yes.
She basically said it all. I mean, let's see here. I had a little speech, but she kind of did it all. It was her and I that started in 2018, and then it grew from there. We had our son, we had to stop. And then I didn't know if this town wanted us back or anything like that. And as soon as COVID started lifting, we started getting emails by the dozens from the parents that were on our team before saying, please come back. Like, we had so much fun, please come back. I've seen this woman pour her heart and soul into this team. We have a kid that's ranked 13th in the whole country. We're the fastest growing swim team in Florida. We're ranked very well. And I mean, our team, we represent Celebration. So, you know, things are amazing. Take a breath. It's okay. God. Like Kelly said, she's been involved with the town for over 18 years, coaching the high school team. And like, our team is kind of a little like a feeder into the high school. The kids, I've noticed that the kids that practice with us from the high school always blow the rest of the kids away. So it's an amazing, like, you know, exercise, stuff like that. We made the Cyclones a non-for-profit because we wanted to be able to help people. So since starting back up in April of 2021, we have given away thousands of dollars in scholarships. You know, a parent will reach out to me and say, hey, Matt, we can't pay this month, or, you know, like, I got in a car accident. I'm able to just say, don't worry about it. You know, it's okay. Some parents donate money to us to help other parents, you know, stuff like that. And we've been staying afloat. I don't know how, but we do. Let's see, they do more than swimming. Kelly does tie-dye with the kids. She gives them homework help. We have pizza parties. It's definitely, our motto is we're not just a swim team, we are a family. And we truly live that. Like, every one of those kids on that team is family to us. And we would do anything for the parents, we will do anything for. And they recognize that. We have a lot of kids on the team, and it's growing just so huge that we need to find more coaches.
Which we're working on.
We're working on, yeah. It's everybody's just knocking down our door to be on the team. We give preference to Celebration residents. They get a discounted rate. I don't know what else to say.
As we grow, I also it's a little different with USA Swimming because registration is for the year. So registrations run from January to January, or January to the end of December. And I'm still, to be completely honest, this past year has been a learning curve because we kind of went from 0 to 60 very fast. We went from being a small recreational team that, you know, I was really just a teacher who coached swimming. And it's become so much more than that.
This was supposed to be a hobby, and now it's a real legit thing. We have 150 members and growing. You know, this wasn't supposed to be a full-time job. Kelly already has that. I do too. So it's becoming one, and it's fun. You know, we realize we're able to still have the time for these kids and hire really good coaches that are USA certified. They have to background checks. They can be a lifeguard, like, they're everything. So these aren't parents helping us. I mean, the parents do, but.
And our head coach and myself are also American Red Cross certified as well. So our head coach and I are water safety instructor certified with American Red Cross. So we are both certified to teach swimming for ages 6 months all the way through adult. So that is, we've looked at, depending on how things go, possibly establishing us as a Red Cross training site as well. I've talked to some people at Red Cross after I got my WSI training this past spring. So that's something that we're open to as well. And that, what I really like about that is American Red Cross. There's a progression of skills, a very specific progression of skills that they give for all of their different age groups. And that would be if we end up, because right now we're a USA swim team, but if we ended up taking on swim lessons to a more extensive way than we currently are, I would try to run that through American Red Cross.
So there's exponential growth with us. Like, I mean, there's just more and more and more. I think we should let them run the
Yes.
slideshow.
So
We could talk
I'm
forever.
gonna be honest. I wasn't really sure what to do. Like
A presentation.
a presentation, because I'm a teacher, but I'm also I believe in community, and I put together just a slideshow of pictures that really encompasses my journey here in Celebration as a coach.
It'll show you how our team is.
And it also features some Special Olympics athletes that I have coached over the years, because my parents and I founded Special Olympics swimming in Celebration many years ago as well.
Get it, Nikki. This is our website. This is our logo on the right there. Kelly with some of the younger kids. So I edited the pictures.
And I took a lot of our pictures off of our Instagram. We have 2 Instagram accounts. We had one that was Celebration Cyclones. And then when we reinvented ourselves in 2021, we have a second one that's Celebration Swimming.
So this was one of
Several of these pictures are back from 2018. And some of these kids are actually, the young children that you see in these pictures are now swimming for Celebration High School with me.
we participate in the food truck, we promote it.
These kids all graduated last year.
Just as a fact, 87% of our kids are Celebration residents. So we're recreational and we can be as competitive as the child wants. We offer swim meets that they can go to. July parade, one that rained, that was horrible. So the first parade we went to, we brought our car and everyone walked. And the second time we went, last year, this past one we went, we didn't bring the car because we wanted to walk with everyone. What did everyone do? They brought a car and rode in their truck, and Kelly and I were the only ones walking.
That was the coach from Georgia Tech. She came down, she's an Olympic gold medalist, and she came down to talk to the kids.
Yeah. We were supposed to have Ryan Lochte, but he bailed on us last minute. That's true though, not joke.
And several of these swimmers I have coached multi-generations. I actually have a young man who signed up in 2021 with Cyclones, and when I was emailing with his mom, I was his mom's swim coach as well. We like to have band concerts for everyone's birthday because we have a lot of overlap with kids who are in band and that was our state championship team from last year. We had a swimmer who won the state title for the 100-meter or the 100-yard backstroke. This was at our Christmas party that we had at Lakeside.
We got steam coming off that pool. Those kids still get in.
And then after we made breakfast, we had them there. We took a group of kids up to the University of Florida to watch the that's with Caleb Dressel. We took a group of kids up to University of Florida to watch the Auburn University of Florida swim meet so they could see some really competitive college swimming. Another birthday band concert. We like to give out ducks to the kids when they have like a really good swim or if they do well at practice. And it's amazing what these kids will do for a rubber duck. We ordered special caps. That's a time cap. That's like a certain time standard that you reach in USA Swimming. The author of this book came down to talk to our kids, Bob Steele. He's like a legendary swim coach in the world of swimming.
Some of these kids come to us and they've never been on a team. And to see them go from being a little overweight to swimming with us and their confidence builds tremendously. And then to see them winning medals.
We had a parent who brought a drone to one of our swim meets, so that was a cool little overhead picture there. This was a meet that we hosted at Lakeside for our younger kids, less experienced swimmers. And then our older high school swimmers came and were timers and volunteered. That's one of the other things we like to do as a not-for-profit is offer opportunities for volunteer hours for the high school students. That's the young man with Down syndrome who competes in Ironman races. I got to hear him speak. It was really motivational. And one last little plug, we're doing a Unity Day next week at the K School. That's me with my son at the swim meet. This was one of our divers. She's diving from Florida Atlantic University now. She signed with them. That trophy is actually for academics. We won a trophy for academics in addition to winning trophies for competition. This is my sister.
And there's Kelly when she was young.
Oh, my sister plays Special Olympics tennis too.
I think that might be it, Nick. It's just our logos towards the end. So, any questions? We welcome them.
I think one of the questions we had is you guys are in the same boat as tennis, that you've done really, really well. You've done a lot to offer the community and they've gravitated to you, but you're definitely restricted by the one pool and, you know, a certain amount of lanes, I believe, where you guys have 3 lanes per the contract. How do you plan to manage that? And I feel like I'm asking you a trick question because I know it's difficult.
Well, we can and we can't. So we have adjusted times. We just made an adjustment October 1st for our practice times. So we're now offering our middle school and elementary school programs. We've broken them. We used to just offer our middle school and elementary school programs because that's the program that's really grown exponentially for us. We were offering it from 5:30 to 7 in a variety, you know, we had different schedules for different groups, but we're now offering it from 5 to 7. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but that half hour is allowing us to like just have more lane space and we're just being creative with our schedule, really. I would ask that maybe we consider 4 lanes instead of 3, because what we've seen with our new schedule, that 4 lanes is manageable.
3 lanes is dangerous.
3 lanes gets to be a little challenging. I will tell you, as a long time Celebration resident, my parents live here. Matthew's parents moved here after we got married. We definitely try to make sure that if there's a resident who comes and wants to swim, that they have an opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see that being maybe a gray area. And I will tell you that I never tell a resident, like I will push kids into lanes and I will make room. We have several adults who come and like to swim laps. Some of them like to come and swim laps while we're there. There's a very competitive swimmer who swam for University of North Carolina. He travels a lot for work, but when he's in town, he sometimes comes to our morning practices on Saturday because he enjoys the challenge. He enjoys kind of, you know, being a part of the team. And then if there's other people who come, we make room. But I would maybe ask the committee to consider that 3-lane rule and maybe look at maybe pushing it into 4.
And I know last summer we had Spring Park pool too. And it's not outfitted, but we made it work. In the summer, we get a huge intake of kids. And if we can have both pools, we're able to have certified coaches at both places. Just don't make us outfit them because it takes a huge bite, you know, out of our profit.
Could you educate me? How many lanes are in the pool?
6. So there's 6. Here in Celebration, there's 2 facilities. There's a 6-lane pool at Lakeside, which is our main facility. It's a meter facility. So there's 6 meter lanes and then 25 meters each. And then at Spring Park Pool, it's a yard facility. So each of those are 25 yards long and there's another 6 lanes. So we have, and in the contract, it says 3 lanes at Lakeside, or in the proposal, it said 3 lanes at Lakeside and 2 at Spring Park. The other thing I would ask the committee to maybe consider is if we don't use Spring Park at all, could we have 5 lanes at Lakeside? It makes it difficult for us because we have so much equipment. I know it sounds like just swimming, but we have so much equipment that we use with the kids. We use dryland equipment with the kids. We do dryland workouts. We do yoga with the kids. We're so much more than just a swim team. And it's really hard for us to have all of the same equipment at both facilities.
And how many hours a week do you guys need that?
We're there from 3 to 7. So it's
Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday.
Well, no, because when we have cyclones, we have, 3:30 then, 3:30 to 7 is when we're there.
Weekdays or weekdays and weekends?
Weekdays, and then Saturdays from 8 to 10. Yeah. And really from 3:30, it's just the 5:30 to 6:30 time slot where we're tight. And so it's really just 1 hour a day where we have our middle school group, we've got our elementary group, we've got our, what we call our storm chasers, which is kind of like our developmental team. It's intro to swim team, glorified swim lessons. So it's really just that 5:30 to 6:30 time frame where we're tight on lane space due to the size of our program. But other than that, really from 3:30 to 5:30, we're okay with 3 lanes. And so it's just from 5:30 to 7 that we would maybe ask the committee to consider letting us use more lanes. And on Saturdays, we're usually pretty good with 3 lanes too.
Would it work, as we did with tennis, to bring
it up a lane, but maybe just like on a Tuesday, Thursday. I know your program goes Monday through Friday, but with tennis, we were able to at least do a consideration of giving an additional court during that time frame, like on a Tuesday, Thursday, still keeping the residents happy, but also helping our partner program.
We'll take anything.
Yeah, that would be something that we would be open to talking about. The Monday through Thursday is when we offer our Storm Chasers program, because it's really our Storm Chasers program. And it's been really interesting for me. Everyone wants swim lessons. And I think since COVID, there was a lot of people weren't getting swim lessons. They were uncomfortable having their kids in swim lessons. And I can't tell you how many people email me and want swim lessons. And right now we're not really in the business of private swim lessons. We will offer kids lessons with the intention of getting them ready for our Storm Chaser program, which we really just ask that they be able to swim the lane through the pool, unassisted, more or less, or halfway if they're in our Storm Chaser 1, because we have an instructor in the water with them.
And we send them to like Little Fins. If they're real young, we'll send them to Little Fins. Or
I also have been referring people to go over to the hospital program as well for swim lessons. Our intent is to be more of a swim team. So, to build that team camaraderie and to, like I said, I will support kids and offer swim lessons on the side if we need to, but that's not really, I'm a teacher at the K-8. That's not, I'm a teacher and a swim coach, and I'm not really looking to get into that angle, but yeah, I think we can make it work, especially with the new schedule that we've devised.
So I have 2 questions. How many out of your 150 are CHS, or is that only your team that you're counting as 150?
That 150 is just our team for Celebration Cyclones.
And then when you say don't make us pay to outfit the pool, what does that mean? What all is yours? What all is CROA? There are so many other programs that all have to provide their own equipment. So I'm just trying to understand.
So before you guys had a bunch of equipment and stuff like that, and I don't know where it's gone, but we've had to buy our own $800 time clock that used to be there at Lakeside Pool. That's basically it. Spring Park, more.
So the lane lines that are there they were replaced. I'm not sure how long ago. Nikki can probably say how long ago. I think it was probably 10 years ago. Yeah, about 10 years ago. So the lane lines and the lane line reel are CROA property. And then the diving blocks are also CROA property, but everything else is ours. So like the kickboards, the pace clock that we use, we have 2 pace clocks because we bought an old fashioned one. There used to be one mounted at Lakeside Pool that was like an old fashioned, like a clock that would, because everything we do is interval training for swim. And so when that broke, I'm going to say 6 years, I don't even know how many years ago, it was never replaced. So when we started up the swim team, we paid to replace it.
I feel like that's kind of the norm for partner programs, though. I think you're pretty much given the shell and you have to outfit it yourself with all of your own equipment.
My concern at Spring Park Pool is getting lane lines over there, because there's no way for us to secure those lane lines. Like, it would have to be CROA property, because there's no way for us to actually secure those lane lines on an indoor, like we would be liable for that.
In light of time, we're over schedule now.
Yeah.
But may I request that we make this discussion for lanes and lane lines an agenda item for our next meeting?
That's great.
Okay, we'll revisit it.
Okay.
Thank you guys for
Thank you.
serving it so long. Appreciate it.
Sorry about my nerves. It's been a long day, and we're, like I said, in the middle of championship season. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Pretty quick agenda items.
This gentleman does.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry on the way. It's just like the longest meeting of the year. There's free water right there.
Gonna go down, they're gonna faint.
It's all the water you can drink.
Do you want some water? You good? Okay. So we can actually talk about their Lakeside Cars and Coffee proposal. We can make this.
Yeah, let's let you guys,
Sure, thank you. I was actually asked to do that, but thank you for coming up with it first. My name is Paul Dunlap. I'm a resident here in Celebration. I live at 1231 Celebration Avenue. These are my cohorts in crime. Michael Crawford.
I'm Michael Crawford. I've lived in town since June of 1999. Live at 1245 Bill McCanna Lane. First wedding at the Celebration Hotel. And I'm also on the board of directors of the Celebration Exotic Car Festival, benefits Make-A-Wish Foundation in Central Florida. So I have some experience.
David?
David Nosnetsky, and I live at 413 Harbor Court and been here for several years.
And we three are car guys. We are heart and soul car guys. I'm a classic car guy. Michael is an exotic car guy. David is a brassier car guy. Very, very classic. What year is it?
13.
1913. See, I got shoes older than that, but I really don't. Anyway, and I have a 1958 Edsel Pacer convertible, which has been around town. I've been in, I was on Michael's show last spring. It was wonderful, wonderful experience. When I moved here just about 2 years ago, and I brought my car down from New Jersey, which is where I'm from. And up there, I was a member of a car club called the Antique Motoring Club in Monmouth County. And we had about 250 to 270 members. And what we did is we obviously had car shows and we had cars and coffee and all that. But we also did things for the community. We would do shows at hospitals. We would do shows at senior centers. And to just see the seniors come out and look at some of their old cars, and give them rides, you know, around the grounds, whatever it is. And it was about contributing back to the community. Our goal actually is to form a car club in Celebration. The idea, and what I talked to Nikki about, is do a cars and coffee to gauge interest, right? Because that's what we really want to know. Are there enough people here? And in talking to Nikki, we put together a Survey Monkey, and we only put it in one place. We only put it in on the back porch on Facebook, which is an interesting place to be. And as you know, any kind of survey that you put on Facebook, as soon as people put other things in, it gets pushed and pushed and pushed till it just disappears. So I put it in twice over the course of about a week and a half. And we only got 30 responses, but I think for something like Facebook, like that, that's not bad, because surveys on Facebook usually hardly get any responses. And within that, there was a large majority of people who were interested in some sort of cars and coffee event. So we know there's an interest here. And even though out of the 30 responses, only 10 of them said, yes, I have a classic or an exotic car, going outside of the people who didn't have classic or exotic cars, they were interested in coming. So there's more interest. We only had 6 respondents to that whole thing who just poo-pooed the whole thing entirely. They didn't have a car. They didn't want to know about cars. They don't care about cars, whatever. All right, but that statistically, that's a pretty small group. So we know there's interest. And what's really interesting, and the people that we know who have classic cars here, oh, I didn't know there was a survey. They didn't even take it. So we know that there's more interest than what was just done within that survey timeframe. So that was the original idea. Do a kind of test run, cars and coffee, toe in the water, see what happens, see how many people show up, see what kind of interest. And we were going to pick up the tab for the coffee and the donuts and all that, just personally as residents. We are not an organization. We don't play one on TV. None of that. We're just car guys who want other car guys to get together and talk about cars, or get people who like to look at cars. The focus is on Celebration residents only. To build a Celebration car club. Okay, so it's not like, we don't want it to turn into Old Town. Everybody good with that? Because we are. The goal is to just see what happens. We took a walk around Lakeside, that circle, and we figured you could probably get somewhere between 18 and 20 cars in there around the circle, depending on the size of the car.
But those aren't the cars.
I know, they all look alike. Actually, it looks like a factory. It was
And we've
spitting
done,
them
there was a
out.
Cars and Coffee there several years ago that I participated in, and I know we can get more cars around that.
Yeah.
So
I think you could too.
I-
May I ask a question?
Sure.
So is the reason you chose this particular location just because it had been done there before?
Yeah, it fit really well. It didn't interfere with anything that was going on downtown. We're far enough back where it wouldn't interrupt anything hopefully happening at the recreation.
Are there any other ideas for a place this might be piloted, or is that gotta be?
It doesn't have to be, but it's more of a centralized location where
Yeah.
we probably get the most traffic and people will walk down. A lot of the residents would come down with their families and their kids, and the kids would.
I think it's cool.
We let
Anything
them
you
sit in
got
the
going
cars. I
downtown to
just
bring
think-
people out, it's a great
Yeah, we just
idea.
wanna bring-
We just have a tennis capacity problem.
Correct, and that's what we would work around. is that,
Well-
You know, we're looking at, one Saturday a month for maybe 9 Saturdays out of the year. We probably won't do, we're talking about in the summertime, it's just hot, it
Just too
rains,
hot,
it just
yeah.
gets really warm. So really thinking of the fall and spring
And how
months.
many days would you need to pilot it to see if it was successful enough for you guys to
Well-
keep buying free coffee?
Uh,
Because I love coffee.
I know, we didn't bring it today. I would say it's gonna build like the car show did when it first started 20 years ago. We're gonna celebrate 20 years, because it started with a handful, it's gone to 350 cars, but that's a little bit more.
But how many days do you need in your metric to say, if the group said, hey, let's approve a couple of days?
Well, if,
How many times do you need to do it?
I'd probably say it's good, like three Saturdays.
Yeah.
Saturdays, once a month.
Once a month.
plus,
No.
if we do the outreach through the Celebration magazine, through.
Yeah, I think we're gonna, because I already know the folks that put their cars from Celebration in the show.
Yeah.
So I know of others in the community, and I think it's gonna be, I don't think we have any problem ramping up to a certain capacity. If we get to a certain capacity, which we'd love to have that problem, maybe we can talk about maybe taking some more towards this way, but, having it blocked off in the evening time, because I know folks like to park around that circle sometimes to do their tennis. But we just ask for the understanding to park in the parking spots so we can utilize that for those Saturdays to start with.
Remind me to ask, what time to what time?
We're-
8 to 10.
You want to do 8 to 10?
8 to
8 to
10
10.
a.m.
8 a.m. to
A
10
pilot
a.m.
of three times, once a month
Right,
on a Saturday morning.
correct.
Yeah, and listening to
With
the
those red
previous presenters here, I'm saying, oh, really? You got swimming at 8 to 10, you got tennis at 8 to 10,
Yeah,
you're
you got
gonna
a lot
have
going
a
on.
crowded
Yeah,
parking lot.
there
at 8 to
The
10.
one thing I do have to say is,
Yeah.
I'm concerned with is just, I love this idea, by the way,
Uh,
kids would love it. But it's just like the gating by the sidewalk, because all these tennis folks here will need the sidewalk to walk to go use the
We're not going to
facilities.
gate off the
No, it's
sidewalk.
not on,
Sorry,
it's not on the
it's just on the-
side.
okay,
We
I'm
can't
like,
block up
no,
the
sorry,
right.
I see ones over there, but it wouldn't really
Okay,
be
so it
there.
would just be in this
Yeah.
area.
And really, the reason why we chose it, those aren't really parking spots, it's a turnaround.
Yep. Yeah.
So we wanted to have less impact of parking with those events that we get, we can work out where they can, or they just do a little 3-point turnabout and turn around if they
Yeah.
needed to.
And you
Or
don't
pull
have
into a
that
parking spot.
fitness group that uses that roundabout anymore?
No, we do not, no.
Okay.
And talking to Paul, we did think about doing the second Saturday of each month. So keep Lakeside closed after Food Truck Friday.
Okay.
So be consistent.
The only other option I would think of would be here in Town Hall and doing it in the parking lot here with the bathroom facilities.
Yeah, I actually thought about that, excuse me, that one as well. It takes the folks out of the downtown business area, so you wouldn't get any benefit happening to those businesses down there.
I mean, yes and no, right? Because this is pretty close to go walking if you're gonna go grab a Starbucks or
Possibly, yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I think
diner,
it'll
but
get more interest of a lot of people being downtown, seeing what's happening. It'll
Yeah.
engage more of the resident interest by being put back in this corner, what can't be seen. We would like to have it, so people can recognize and see it.
Yeah.
And then, go from there. But operationally speaking, since I'm an operations guy all my life, and I work for Victoria Disney as an operations guy, and I handle all the operations for the Exotic Car Festival downtown. So hopefully you like the way that's set up. We'll have control with folks checking to make sure their Celebration residents coming in at the point. We'll have communication with everybody there. I'll have a staff that will be here to keep the integrity of the event. So for us, it's very simple to do. But we wanted to come here today and just say, okay, tell us what we need to do, what things do we need to abide by, what things are you concerned with that we can answer and take care of that, so you're all happy with that. So,
Though I have a cart and a horse question that we have to get this straight. We are three individuals. We are not a business. We are not any kind of operation. We don't got any money except what's in our wallets. Okay, and I know one of the pieces of paper that went flying by me as Nikki got to me was a waiver for insurance. And so here's the cart and horse question. My understanding is that if we are a club, a bona fide celebration club, a club can have 2 hours of facility use for no fee, and that they then come under the insurance that CROA has for liability. Now, if we're not a club and we're individuals and that we have to sign a waiver, we cannot afford the insurance, which means we can't do this. This can't happen. So which do we put first? Do we put the club first and then become official and then we fall under those other guidelines? Or do we do this as a test and we all still covered that liability?
I think we've had, and correct me if I'm wrong, a resident-sponsored event that you charge no one.
No,
and it's
no one is
open to
being
the
charged.
public.
Yeah.
I think you fall into more of what we do on the volleyball courts on Sunday. You get car insurance on.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, do we need to go further with that?
I mean, we still have all of our groups provide a certificate of insurance, like our partner programs have to have a certificate of insurance. Facility rentals have to still sign a facility waiver.
Well, let me just, I don't want to keep us too long,
Yeah.
but let me compare this to sand volleyball
Yeah.
On our courts where people are running around could get hurt.
Mhm.
That's a resident-sponsored event that they're required to leave it open for people to attend at no charge, right? But do they provide some insurance waiver for that?
So Mike does.
He does.
Signs a yearly waiver.
ours is more of a static event, so we're not moving around. We have integrity when the cars leave and come in.
We'd have to revisit that and make sure that we're,
About the liability.
in the right category, but
Because I know when Ann books the town hall for meetings and everything, that club, the insurance, the liability comes under you guys here. I mean, that club doesn't carry the insurance.
Well, so for that civic and service group, attached to that is a program waiver. So everyone has to sign a program waiver in order to utilize our space.
So if
that's something
something
we
were
can
to
definitely
happen in
discuss.
town hall, then who's liable at that meeting?
I mean, it's
I
our
mean, it's something you
building,
guys tell them.
so.
We probably need to get some legal.
Yeah, it's no.
We're all guessing right now.
Yeah.
It's not our.
I understand your.
So we don't-
We have to
club's
name,
been
we
around
have to
for a
name
while.
pro and all the entities that it's no different than the soccer field.
so we don't get hung up on something we can't control right now.
Right.
If you're gonna
I'd
park-
like to propose that we approve their trial of 3 Saturdays at the time stated, and we monitor the complaints or the whatever, the tennis people complain or whatever's going on. Let's see what happens. Pending an insurance review.
Okay.
Can I get a second on
Can I
that?
ask one question first? I know when we first brought this up, one of the concerns was brought up that it's very close. Is it Marisol that's right there? Is this the type of event where there's revving engines, or is this where the cars are off? You look at the
Static.
car, okay.
Just a part, engines off. Talk, yeah.
That's fine. I just,
That's
we knew we were gonna have angry residents at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
There was an exotic one there before, and then Spiro had guys coming from the outside, and they'd bring their Lamborghinis and just blast down front.
Yes, that's what we're
And-
trying to
and-
avoid.
And that, ours would be controlled.
Great.
Yeah, we're totally against that.
Yeah, we don't want that type of attention, we want to have a.
It's really a social gathering of like-minded people, no different than chess or anything else.
Yeah.
Cars happen to be the center point. The reality is, it's a social event.
Yeah.
For people to come and talk about cars and what their grandfather had. and-
Donuts and coffee for everyone, or just the club members, or how does that, because here's
What we've
It
done
would be
before is
until it
the
runs out.
participants.
Hey, guys, if I could read it direct, I think
Yeah.
we understand the scope of what they're trying to do. They want to try it. It's kind of cool that a resident's trying to put on a social event and I get free coffee. So
You guys go.
I would like to propose that we approve their 3 trial dates as stated in the contract here, or the request. We monitor that and then review it after the 3rd date. Can I get a second? All in
Based on
favor?
the insurance.
Aye.
Based on,
Depending on
yeah,
insurance,
depending
that's
on
what we
weight
have.
and insurance, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
I would also just tag on, I don't think the feasibility of this to happen any time before or after the first of the year. Because we would have, plus you have the holidays coming, all kinds of stuff coming. And this would be a nice thing for maybe January, February, if we have time to promote and all that.
It's a cool idea. Thank y'all. Sorry you had to wait so long. Do I hear a motion to?
I just got
No,
real
you wanna
quick,
do
real
those two?
quick. I promise I'll take 3 minutes.
If you want to approve these and along with this
Well,
extension.
are these in good standing?
Yes.
Both of these
them are
in.
in good standing. Quick notes if you want to hear from them. Celebration Flag Football has 128 kids. They're from November through February. They only use Friday and Saturdays. Total of $2,911 was collected to CROA. Celebration Dog Training, so far this year, we collected $939.60. They have an average of 7 to 10 guests or residents that utilize our venue. That's just because it's at the North Village Pavilion. But they're both in good standing partner programs.
Wait, what are the days that you gave for flag football?
Oh, sorry, Friday and Sunday, I'm sorry, Friday and Sunday. My bad, sorry. Friday and Sunday.
They practice on Friday, play on Sunday?
They
games.
play both nights. They
Oh.
only use a complex to play their games.
And that's what we're doing already.
That's what we're doing already.
Do we have any other questions on those, or can we get a motion to extend?
Motion to extend both the flag football and the dog training contract.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Woo-hoo.
Sorry, we went long.